Hello, everybody. How you doing? This is Pete, also known as Lord PDTV. I'm just here because I wanted to give everybody a little final synopsis, a little comparison, a little quick talk about, our video series that we have been working on. Now, we've been working on for the past couple of weeks. It's been a long time. I think it's like 16 weeks, 15 weeks, something like that. On working on getting our Paladin and our Blood DK, I should say Prot Paladin and Blood DK to KSM, and what that means. What does that mean? I should say for you. So what we ended up doing was, I'm first of all a very novice when it comes to. I'm very much a novice when it comes to the whole entire um tanking genre of stuff. I know how to do it. I can make it through a 15. I can kind of like fall through it. Or I can have, friends that can compensate in groups and things like that. But I never really tried to do it either A, on my own, and B, with a couple of these classes. So number one, the DK class, I really never ever played. Always leveled them, but I never played them. So this is the first time I really played them, and I would like to say that it was definitely an experience to be playing a Blood DK. Um, Now, as for the Prot Paladin, I ended up playing him before, and I've tanked with him before, and I kind of knew around what was going on. As for the Blood DK, I wanted to do that 100% on my own. I got KSM on that guy, probably I would say 95% on my own. There was a couple of times where people would hop in the groups, or someone needed a key, I'd help them out, things like that. Uh, but it was very, very rare that I ended up having anybody in that group, and that was one reason why it took me so long to get there. And now I will definitely say I am happy that I don't need to play that class anymore. The original reason why we played that class was to figure out what that stigma was about that class. Now, as a lot of people I don't know, is that midway through this video series, the MDIs happened, and the Blood DK was like pretty much the forerunner of most of the groups. Now, the reason for that was because of their ability to self sustain themselves in heals. They can pretty much death strike and get full health, which is absurd to myself, just as a person who has been a healing main for so long, that it's absurd. But I will say that it knowing the class, if it operates better, like if you know how it operates and if it operates better, then it's a way better class than you'd ever expect or whatever we'll work through. Um so I think that learning more about the Blood DK was something that we needed to do. Um if you are an exceptional player that has the ability to play with the Blood DK, mess around with them, learn the ins and outs of them, then by all means play your Blood DK, and it'll feel good and it'll work through pretty nicely, and you won't really have any problems with it. Um, as for me, Blood DK is not a thing I enjoyed playing. The up and down of health, the I don't know if I'm gonna live on this pole to the next pole. There was too many questions for me, to the point where I was like, no, I'm good enough for doing this, but I don't need to do it anymore. Um I learned with the experience. I learned lots about it, and I will say that it was fun. Uh, so as the class itself, I will say that it definitely was something that was very pushy and did very well. Um, I think that it had a lot of negatives to it that I think for me, well, I wouldn't even call them negatives. A negative for me, but it's also something that's basically the way that the class operates. Meaning that they needed more versatility to absorb more hits so that they can death strike and heal. But if you didn't have enough high enough versatility to absorb those hits, you just died. Or the fact that you had to always make sure that the mobs were in front of you to death strike. Yes, I know that seems very simple and something very self-explanatory. Something that is just, come on, it just makes sense. But when you're in a group of mobs and you're trying to like move them around and you need to death strike and you got a mob that's like 20 meters away, you got to yank them, then death strike them, and it just turns into a little bit of a headache. As for the other side of things, the paladin, um, I'm a little bit biased towards it. I did enjoy and like playing it. I thought that Divine Toll had a huge benefit and if you think about it, Shackle of the Unworthy had a huge benefit to the DK too. And I think that those abilities really took the class and pushed them up a couple of notches to a lot more than you'd think they would. Um, as for the uh, as for the Pally, I felt like when you're pulling mobs, I wasn't too worried about dying, and it was easier for me to yank them in every single time. It was a Divine Toll. Uh, the ability to blessing of protection somebody. Some ranged person is casting, I don't have to run over to him. I just throw a shield. The ability of blessing of freedom, like I was talking about in the other video, being able to blessing of freedom. A person that is about to get frozen and necrotic wake. I felt that the Pally had more utility than the DK did. And in doing that, it ended up allowing that class to be superior. I'm talking about in 15s. 15s, people. I'm not talking about uh like over 20s. These classes, they can the Prop Paladin I still think is a really good class to use up until you're 20. Um, higher than that, it's going to be it's going to be a crapshoot of what class you're going to grab. But like I said, the Prop Paladin I really thought was more of a well-rounded class. But at the same time, I think that if you have a Blood DK and you have a person that can play a Blood DK very well, and they end up essentially creating that class, or I should say the group around the class, then it'll be better for you. It'll be more efficient. So, but I think that Blood DKs they do have a really good spot. I think that they really if you learn how to play to heal one, they're pretty good. I had a couple of people leave keys because they saw me playing my blood DK. But all in all, I think that it's good. It's worth it. It's worth taking the time to at least trying them out and playing them if you're questioning it. But I do think that playing the blood DK, that learning curve, it's pretty high. I wouldn't say you should be buying a copy of World of Warcraft and the first thing you do is play a blood DK. No. Whereas when you're playing a Prot Paladin, you can kind of get away with it, even with the wrong talents. You can get away with it, and then you can learn more about it, and it'll grow on you. So just my thoughts, my 2 cents. So all right, well, anyway, thank you all very much for taking the time to check out these videos. I hope you enjoyed seeing the comparison between the two. Before we go, quick comment. The blood DK, like I said, I pretty much played by myself. The Pally I ended up playing with other people here and there because people in the channel wanted to play, and I didn't want to keep excluding them on everything. But I have a general feel for it. So, but anyway, thanks again everybody for hanging out. My name is Pete, also known as Lord PD TV. Please check us out on Twitch every single Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. We are sleep training my son right now, so if a little dozing happens, I am sorry. And please make sure you check it out. We have lots and lots of giveaways and fun stuff in there. So, all right, thanks again, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your day, everybody. Thank you. Bye.